on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Steffens' Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
Live across America, the PM Show with Mike Horn on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hey, welcome to the big Monday edition of the PM Show. I am Michael Horn. Glad to have you with us. Paul Stern back with us in studio. Paul?
Mike, glad to be here.
Paul's had some puppy problems. And boy, oh boy, do we have a great guest in our studio. It's the one and only Marianne. Dawn Wells is here. Hi, Dawn Wells.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
It's great to have you in studio. You know, we started talking about this on Facebook and Twitter, and everybody is looking and calling in. And you are probably one of the greatest actresses in the history of the golden age of television. Those shows that were done during the time Gilligan's Island was on, and Robert Conrad and the Wild Wild West. It's the ones that have kind of withstood the test of time. I mean, people know you every day because the show keeps repeating everywhere, doesn't it?
But I don't know about greatest actress category. It could be just familiarity.
Come on.
You grew up with me, so here I still am. You know,
You're
I don't know.
in that show. Gilligan's Island is in the I Love Lucy category. It's like it's withstood the test of time.
Amazing. 30 languages or something all over the world?
Yeah.
Well, there's no theme. You know, there's no 56 Chevy in the driveway, no clothes that tells you it's 1956 or 1995 with the shoulder pads. It's kind of universal all over the world, really.
Yeah, you're just still lost. It was, you're just on the island trying to get back home.
Please.
So we're going to talk with you today. We got a lot of things to talk about. You have some things on your mind. We have also your book that I brought in right here.
Oh, I hope so, because I forgot it.
This is called A Guide to Life, and I love this title. What would Marianne do? And there's the book that everybody can take a look at there. And this is available in bookstores everywhere?
Yeah. You can go at dawnwells.com, and I'll personalize it, or Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Look for it. I'm very, very proud of it.
This is a great book. And what prompted you to write it? People coming up to you all the time and asking advice?
Write a book. I said, I don't want to write a book. I want to talk to you. So the first chapter says, but Dawn, we can't make that many copies of you. Why don't you try writing? Because I think Marianne has had a real influence for 3 generations now?
Yeah.
Most of the men say, I grew up with you, but I'm raising my daughter like a Marianne. And it's hard today to raise a kid with what's going on in the world. It's not easy. They're all in their rooms typing these little things. You don't know what's going on. As you and I talked earlier, my mother knew where I was every single second.
And with my mom, all the time, right?
All the time. Or you'd be playing softball out in the street, and they'd say, your mother's looking for you. It's 8 o'clock. Go home. Now every parent is working. There's multi-families living together. It's much more difficult.
It is. And it's like that era. And you want to talk about that today, too, in one of our segments. We're going to talk, you mentioned about parent report cards. Is that what you want?
Today I watched one of the early shows, and now kids are being asked, which is a great idea, to do a report card on their parents. And do you know when my moods are changing? How do you really, do you want to talk to me about sex? The kids say, I don't want to talk about it. My mother wants to talk about it. And it's kind of interesting. You as a parent, I'm not a parent, so I can speak up. But as a parent, you know what the kids are thinking, how they really rate you. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, well, but sometimes we give kids too much credit to kind of mold and shape things. I'm from the old school of, the parents. However, maybe the parents do need a report card because some of them probably don't mold and shape the kids. They're off doing their own thing.
Well, if you don't know that your child, for instance, you hurt her feelings when you say, honey, don't eat that, you're gaining a little weight. And she comes back to you and says, you don't give me the credit for not knowing what to eat. Or you don't praise me when I've eaten something. I'm making all this up. But there's a way you as a parent know, what am I missing? What didn't I say that I should say?
All right. Once again, Marianne, you're right, because in the old school way that I'm talking about, the parents never asked the kids what they thought, and maybe that was part of the problem.
Life was easier, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
I'd like to take some kids back so they can see what it was. Just, watch like 5 channels, cartoon carousel.
That's right.
It's great.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Nobody fighting.
Nobody knows
sex.
what we're talking about. Well, I don't know. Maybe that should be on television now. We'll see. All right, it's the PM Show Monday edition. The great Dawn Wells is with us. Paul Stern, I'm Michael Horn. You can give us a call. We'll open the lines later in the show at 818-353-1276. Stay with us here on CRN.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. But with the PMI Advantage from Quicken Loans, you may never have to pay those expensive monthly mortgage insurance premiums again. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I'm excited to tell you that the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. Make the smart call and talk to one of our home loan experts today at 800-QUICKEN. You'll learn how the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back here to the PM Show Monday edition. It's the Dawn Wells edition. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern and the great legendary Dawn Wells in studio, Marianne from Gilligan's Island, and so many other shows. We'll kind of get a little background from her later. But, Marianne.
Yes, sir.
First segment there, you talked about you were watching a show and they were talking about parental report cards. So you're saying kids have been asked to now rate their parents? Is that what it's all about?
It's almost a little report card. Do they know my moods? Do they listen to what I'm talking about? Do they allow me, I don't know what the list was. It was on the Today Show or CNN early this morning. I'm a news junkie. And I thought that's kind of a good idea because you don't have to sit down and have a long conversation with your kid. He's answered 15 questions. You say, what does this mean? You don't like me to say, mind your manners or something. And one of the little girls they asked, she was about 9 or 10, does your mother talk to you about sex? Yes, and I don't want to talk about sex, and she keeps telling me those things. Well, then maybe she's too young. Maybe wait till she's 12. I think it's kind of a good thing.
Don't you think kids nowadays grow up way too fast? We had like an era we were talking about just before the break of watching cartoons on TV and just kind of hanging out, and there was, you know, I know a lot of people have to have two working families or there's single parents out there now, but you had a mom at home and a dad working or vice versa or whatever. But it seems like kids at age 5 or 6 are talking about sex and things these days. They're seeing it on TV, certainly.
Because they're exposed to things. I wasn't exposed to anything. You know, there wasn't anything. We listened to the radio, the Lone Ranger maybe. We went outside and played softball or hide and seek or something. Nowadays they're all in front of a mechanical something. And it's infiltrating their brains, whether you as a parent know what they're listening to or what they're talking about, and they're I guess ahead of their age, so to speak. So you as a parent have to keep up with that. You can't assume the 13-year-old doesn't know anything.
That's true. And so these kids can rate their parents, but then, you know, I read an article over the weekend. I was going to talk about it on our morning show and have not as of yet. But it says when you want to go on a family vacation, go to a place that has no Wi-Fi.
I've heard one of the commercials talking about, and the kids are saying, what? No Wi-Fi? I'd kind of like the husband to put it away, too.
Exactly. Have you noticed that when you know, there's a second or two, everybody's got their cell phone out and they're texting messages. People don't even talk on the phone anymore. They text each other.
Do you think that's just another way of communication? Are we really communicating, though?
Well, see, I spend my time a lot on the phone trying to talk to people such as yourself or whatever, talking about doing shows and what's going on. And when you text, you kind of lose that personal touch, I think. Sometimes you can hear by an inflection of somebody's voice or by hearing the yes you're saying. I mean, you can put that down in words, but what does it mean? And then these kids have codes or something, you know, they write back to each other on. I think we've lost some of the communication, and maybe that causes some of the problems in the world. You need to face-to-face sit down. Remember they used to have those old détente meetings.
Well, I remember my accountant and I she's getting kind of irritated with me. What does that mean? Because she's doing it very graphically, just saying ABC, you know.
Right.
But emotion makes a lot of difference. You know, when you used to talk on the phone as a kid, you could hear whether somebody was crying or whether they were angry. You can't tell any of that. And
on
I think
a text message.
In a text message. So we're losing the emotion behind it. And I think that's really important. How do you judge? And then again, if you're in trouble, you've got somebody to call right away. I mean, it's a balanced thing, I guess.
Do you call more than you text?
Oh yes, I want to hear your voice.
And thank you very much, Marianne.
I go talk to me.
How many guys would love to have Dawn Wells say that to them? Now listen, this has made my day. So, do you find that you call more than text because you're up with it. You've stayed current. I've stayed current. I've got, emails and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But you find that the telephone is still the best way, even though you do all the other stuff?
Yes, and I do text, but I really am not an email person. I have a real hard time carrying that computer around and all that. I know I need to be. I understand that. I know it's important. Could somebody else do it for me and tell me what went on? I will text because it's quicker. But I do get a little irritated, and I do get a little thing, well, what did she mean by that, or he mean by that, where I can't say how nice you are and what a great time I had with you without being real effusive in 6 letters or 10 words. It's a different world. It's a totally different world.
Back a few years back, before there were emails and the internet, there were letters that people would send. You'd have a conversation, and people would follow up with a letter. I think there's a generation out there now that doesn't really know what a letter is because basically emails are letters that you send back and forth to people. And people should understand when you put it in writing, if you're having an argument, you talk on the phone, sometimes you forget what's said or you can bring it up later. If it's in the written word there, you can look at that and gnaw on that forever, and it creates a lot of ill will.
But I'm going to go the other direction.
Yes.
Nothing is better than a love letter.
Really?
Nothing is better. Nothing is
more.
better than the man that you care about or the relationship that you're in.
Yes.
Putting down on words what he really feels about you, what he likes about you, what your relationship is all about. As a female, nothing opens your heart more. You reread it and you read it again and you read it again. It isn't gone. It hasn't disappeared. It isn't in 26 letters. I think love letters are really important.
So you should pick and choose the things you want to put down. Love letters, important.
Yeah.
Maybe arguments, not so much. Or you can delete them all like Hillary Clinton, and then you might have a problem.
Where are we with that? I don't know. My mother would have been reading all my texts. I know she would have been saying.
Thank you very much. Yes, Paul. Thank you for that late rim shot. Yes.
I have often heard that many people, like long after a relationship has ended, they will actually hold on to the love letters for some time to come.
Oh yeah, I still read mine from high school, and yeah. I do. You feel that here was a relationship, here was something that warm and intimate, here was somebody that you cared about, and it's on paper. It doesn't mean you're still pining away from each other. It also means you as a mate, male or female, has to really think about what you're expressing.
Yeah.
What do I like about you really? I love your eyes. I love your hair. I love the way you treat me. I love how kind you are to my puppy dog. Instead of just saying, I love you, you have an opportunity of expanding on how you feel. Look at the old novels that are written. Let's not get into 50 Shades of Grey. That's a whole other thing entirely.
That's an old novel. It's been made into a movie now. I don't know if you know that or not.
Have you been?
No, I have not. I was supposed to go to the screening, but I was ill that day and I missed it. So now I'm going to have to wait for it to come out on DVD.
They'll never show that on television, do you think?
Oh, they will. They're showing everything on TV nowadays. So. Things are going on. And so getting back to this, there was a play called Love Letters in which two people, a male and a female actor, you've done it, right? And you read them back and forth. That's a possibility for a radio show, is have people send in their love letters and then we read them.
What a great idea. And you don't have to say it was George talking to Susie.
Yeah, you can use something.
Say, look at this. People that have love letters that have washed ashore, somebody's found it. I go through my old stuff. I collect everything, and I'll see a love letter from the 6th grade. Could you come to Cub Scouts with me? I'd like to hold your hand. Those things really mean something. That's a good idea.
I was just talking to a guy who's a major radio programmer, and we were talking about radio personalities. People these days are saying, well, talk radio is dead, the conservative talk is done, and so he was just equating it that it's, people are too serious on talk radio. There needs to be humor. It's kind of like serious, boring. Serious, boring. He was saying it's like you eat 12 steaks in a row and then you throw up. So it's like, there's been that diatribe of people. It's kind of become humorless in a lot of talk radio. Instead of showing the humor in life and you're showing the love in life with letters, I think more people tune in to see what's going on.
Well, don't you think we listen? Instead of I'm just on the air to preach to you. I'm on the air to hear what your feedback is.
That's the point.
Yes.
And everybody's got opinions, but it's more how you express them and how you get people to maybe look at your opinion through humor.
Oh, absolutely. Humor is the best thing there is, isn't there?
It is really good. So will you write me a love letter before the end of the show?
Are you going to laugh?
Probably.
Make fun of me when I do that?
Probably after what you say in the love letter will be great.
I like your smile.
Thank you. That's a good one. That's very nice. All right, Dawn Wells is with us. We're going to be opening the phones in a little while. In fact, we might want to do one phone segment because it looks like we got a lot of callers that may have some questions for you. You want to take some calls today on the show?
Sure. If they offend me, I can just say never mind.
We'll hang up on them.
They don't offend me. They're usually very nice.
They're ready to go. Dawn Wells is here. Marianne. By the way, we got to talk about your beginnings. You were a Nevada girl, am I right?
Born and raised in Reno, 4th generation. Great-great-grandfather drove stagecoach during the gold rush. gosh.
Remember that old Johnny Cash song? I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Did that ever happen?
No.
Oh, good. I hope not.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti. And many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Panic attacks, the heart races, you feel faint. Dr. Margaret Warenberg.
You need to take in a very slow and deep breath, but then you exhale it through your mouth longer than you inhale, because that actually triggers your nervous system to start a calming down process.
This lowers your heart rate. Next step, give up caffeine and alcohol.
First, it feels like a sedative and acts like a sedative, but it may actually make you more vulnerable to panic when it's wearing off. So I want people to pay attention to what they ingest. And as we get older and we have more medications, we need to really talk to our pharmacists and our physicians about whether or not some of the medications that we take or combinations of medications might end up giving us a side effect of anxiety.
Dr. Warenberg's book is The 10 Best Anxiety Busters. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Welcome back here. It's the PM Show, Monday edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio, and the lines are going crazy. I'm Michael Horn. Paul Stern is with us. And the legendary, lovely, beautiful, talented Dawn Wells is...
Where is she?
She's right.
She walked in this room?
She's here in the room. And, you need to be on talk radio. We got to talk about that. So you're born in Reno, and you went to school, you said because we got a call coming up, you went to school in Seattle, Washington.
I went to University of Washington, and I went to Stevens College All Women in Missouri. So
and you did acting in Washington, wasn't it?
Yes, I started out pre-med at Stevens, and my knees dislocated, couldn't take a sport, so I took a theater course.
So wait. You went to pre-med, and your knees dislocated?
I can't take PE. I've never played a game in my life. I'd be on Dancing with the Stars twirling around if my knees didn't locate.
So we'll never see you on Dancing with the Stars.
No, you won't. But my
They've called you, though, haven't they?
No.
They will after this show. You watch. Your phone's going to be ringing.
They're going to give me knee braces and see what I can...
Tom Bergeron will be sleeping in front of your doorstep.
Well, then I took a drama course because I was, after canoeing and archery, what could I do? And my theater professor said, Dawn, you're good at this. You ought to major in it. I went, what? Are you kidding? And be an out-of-work actor? So I did pre-med and theater at the University of Washington, and I said, I'll give myself 1 year. If I don't go to work as an actress, I'll go back to pre-med. And I was lucky enough, to go to work.
So if you don't try things, we were just talking about that during the break, if you don't give it a shot, in fact, the chapter in your book is talking about failure, but unless you fail, you'll never be able to succeed.
No, and you fail once and give up. I mean, what's the first time you added 2 and 2? You probably didn't know when you were 2 what that meant. You know, I mean, I think you have to keep trying. Persistence will out is what I always say.
Persistence will win out in the long term. And then what was your first role? You were in a lot of things before Gilligan's Island, weren't you?
I think the first thing I ever did, Warner Brothers put me under option for contract, and I think it was Dottie Provine in the Roaring Twenties. And as a theater major...
Dorothy Provine. I remember that show, The Roaring Twenties. Yeah, it's a great show on ABC, I think.
Yeah. And I didn't know anything about film. And on theater, everything has to be authentic. So he said, you can't wear false eyelashes. Your eyes are too big. You have to wear this Marcelled hairdo with my big moon face. And I looked at myself and I thought, what? I just look horrible. And there was an actress by the name of Leslie Parrish who'd done an episode prior to mine. And you had to wait 6 or 8 weeks to see it on the air. You never could get a DVD or anything before. And I looked, she had a long blonde flip and false eyelashes. I said, why did I have to have this horrible hairdo? So that was the first lesson. Make sure how you look best.
That's right.
First lesson. Make sure what you can do that's authentic.
Exactly.
You know, and I just learned. Louis Quinn from 77 Sunset Strip was my coach, sort of. I did 2 or 3 in a row, and he said, Dawn, you're sitting in this cafe, and you've picked up this glass of water, and you said the line on this glass of water. Now, when they come in for a close-up, you have to drink on that. I do? He said, yes, because you did it, so he taught me how to match. I didn't know anything about acting for the camera, but I knew about creating the characters.
I'm loving this. I always remember that there was the Quinn Martin production. I thought that was the guy. So it was Louis Quinn, and who was Martin?
Louis Quinn. No, that was Louis Quinn was 77 Sunset Strip.
Okay, but was he an actor on that?
Yeah, he played the what do you call that? A tout for the racetrack? Is that a tout?
Yeah, a tout.
Yeah.
Back in the day when you were talking about this, and I've talked to actors like Bill Shatner and Robert Conrad, you got under contract to a studio and you appeared on all their major TV shows or in their movies or whatever they assigned you to. So if you got signed to Warner Brothers, you'd be appearing in a lot of Warner Brothers TV shows as a guest star.
But they optioned me to see how well I do.
What does that mean? What did they do? What was that?
If we like you, we'll pick up your contract. So they used me in just about every show they had, and they didn't pick up my contract.
So what happened then?
Well, I went out to freelance, but I had all this film on me then. I did all the Mavericks and the 77 Sunset Strip and Surfside 6 and all that sort of stuff. So I had some film. You could say, here's what she can do.
So freelancing is the word now. You were one of the first to go out there and freelance. What happened when you did the freelancing? You took the films out and started being your own salesperson.
Well, the agent did.
Yeah.
Check her on this. And then, of course, you tested for the series of Marianne. They didn't give it to me. I had to test with 8 million people.
And so what won you that role? Did they ever tell you?
Persistence.
Yeah.
No, I just think I was right for it. I stood up for what I thought she was. Ethel Wynant was vice president of CBS at the time, and I said, she's in pigtails. She's in gingham. Every other character was either a professor, a movie star, a skipper. Marianne just came from Kansas.
She was the most real and had the most sound advice when you think back on it.
Yeah.
Because everybody else had the Tina Louise was the movie star and the professor was brainy, but yet he maybe wasn't as grounded in practicality. And Marianne had all that kind of going. People would come and talk to you on that series, and kind of like your book is, what would Marianne do, right?
She was sort of the moral compass, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, she'd have been your best friend. She'd have been a wife if she could have been. She would have been, a good child of your mother and father.
Hold the phone there. She would have been a wife. That every guy, every red-blooded American male
wanted to marry me? No.
Says, Ginger or Marianne. And I believe Marianne, no offense to the lovely Tina Louise, but the character, I think 90% go with Marianne.
Because you were 9 years old.
It doesn't matter.
I could
18,
be 90.
I could be 90. I'm saving part of this broadcast. I'm going to edit this down. That's good. Dawn Wells is with us. Paul Stern. I'm Michael Hart. We'll get to your phone calls. And lines are jamming, but you can call us at 818-353-1276. 818-353-1276. You can ask Dawn Wells about her book. You can ask about whatever you want to. You ready to field any type of question?
I'd like to talk. Well, Paul, what do you think of all this?
I think bring them on.
We got all guys in the first round, so we'll get you ready to go. Some of you women should call in, too. Stay with us here on CRN.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine? Or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free and home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. The Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
Welcome back to the PM Show. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern. Don't forget Fred Dreyer will be here in this very chair Wednesday here at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern with the PM Show. And we do the show live. Sitting in the chair today, the lovely, talented Dawn Wells, who has a book out now that you want to get. It's called A Guide to Life, What Would Marianne Do? And there is the book. You got a lot of pictures in this book too, Dawn.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
They're great.
My manager picked them out. He went through, 9 million of them and picked out the best. I think they're great. You forget how you look 102 years ago.
The back of the book is great as well.
That's kind of current.
Yeah, that is very current.
Is it a Photoshop? I don't know.
No, Stop. Now, how do they get this book? They can get it autographed if they go to your website?
Yeah, DawnWells.com. I'll personalize it. I would ask Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com.
That's very good.
All of that.
All right, let's go to the phones. We have a call here. Caller, welcome. You're on CRN with Dawn Wells.
Hi, hello, Dawn.
Hello.
This is Charles Nelson Riley. Oh, this should be the CRN radio, not the CNR radio. Oh, do you know who this is?
No, who is it?
Ooh, this is Merv Griffin on the next show.
It's Fred. Is it Fred?
Michael Horn.
Michael Horn. Who is it?
This was 1962, Dawn. This is Walter Cronkite. We did a movie together with Michael Dante.
Oh, what was it? I mean, I know what the movie was, but who are you?
Heavens to Murgatroyd. Exit stage left.
Is it Fred Westbrook?
Mystery caller, identify yourself. We give up.
This is Johnny Carson. I know Wink Martindale and Bob Eubanks very well.
And my name is Lana Turner. Are we having a good time?
Thank you, Johnny. We appreciate it. Ed. All right. Thank you, mystery caller there. We'll
I love it.
Find out from Tomas later who that is, and we'll take another call. We'll go to Ed from Virginia. Go ahead, Ed. Speaking of Ed.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Oh, it's just great to say hi to you personally.
Oh, you're a Southerner. I love that.
I'm just a real big fan.
Where did I raise you? Did you grow up in Virginia?
Yes. I was born and raised here in Portsmouth, Virginia. That's about 30 miles from the coast.
I've spent some time in Virginia the last couple of years. It's a beautiful state.
Yeah, it is. It's got a lot of mountains and, surrounding mountains. You got to drive about 100 miles or so to get to them, but it's near the coast. It's flat, but it is pretty, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're calling in.
Got a question for her?
I was kind of, besides, would you marry me?
I knew it was coming.
I'm telling you, Dawn, I warned you about this, Dawn. I warned you about this.
Wait a minute.
Happen.
Stop it, gentlemen.
This
Stop
will
it,
happen.
gentlemen.
This is going to happen.
Do you have a wife already?
That's a good question.
No.
No? And what can you support me like I'm accustomed to? All those, dogs and cats and travel and all of that? You just think I stay on an island and cook all day long? What do you think I do?
Yes.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Should maybe start getting offers or something. Dowries. We can get the old dowries back
I think that's very sweet that you even asked that question. I've been waiting for years for somebody to say that.
Oh. You're going to be in trouble now. Ed, thank you, my friend, for the phone
thank
call.
You, Ed.
Ed, you're the man.
Thanks
See
so
you
much.
in Virginia, I hope.
Let's take a call and go to Spokane, Washington on CRN. Don Wells with us on the PM show. And we have Mark. Mark, you're on with Don Wells.
Don?
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Miss Wells. What I have to say is I have to thank this lady from the bottom of my heart. She sent me a message, and now we're matching up the voice.
Uh-huh.
On Facebook. My mother had passed away from Alzheimer's, and I had sent her a message. The professor had died at the time.
Yes.
And just very emotional for me to talk to you.
I understand that.
I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did. It was just amazing.
Well, I want to thank you for reaching out. You know, when you're going through troubled times, sometimes just reaching out to a stranger can kind of support where you are. And God bless you. That's all I can say.
You don't know how much it helped me, just like years to come. I was a huge fan as kids, and it's just very emotional for me to just thank you.
Do you have a family now?
Yes, I do.
Well, see, you're lucky. That's wonderful. You can carry on. Thank you for calling and talking to me. I appreciate it.
You're a good man. We appreciate
you
you calling in and expressing that. That's really sweet.
It is sweet. Yes, it is.
Okay, we go to Canada now on the PM show from CRN. And Dave, you're on with Don Wells.
Hello.
Where are you from, Dave? What part of Canada?
I'm in Alberta.
Been there lots of times.
I'm sorry?
I've been there lots of times. I played Edmonton a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry, I so missed you.
Me too.
I was looking, first off, from previous conversations, I was wondering if you're married.
No.
You're not married?
No.
Oh, okay.
Take it easy, Dave.
I'm sorry?
I said, take it easy, Dave. We've already got one proposal.
One proposal, but I'm still open.
Oh, that's just great. I was wondering about your experience with working with Michael Landon.
Oh, Michael Landon. Well, that Bonanza stuff was great. I did 2 or 3 of them, and I liked it a lot. I'm a Western girl. So, and Bonanza, the Ponderosa's outside of Reno where I grew up. So it was like coming home.
Oh, great. And then Michael, he sang to you Shania.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in the purpose of my call is I'm just wondering how you were so intrusive to your was it the Schwartz contract there that you and I think Alan Hill maybe got rights on the Gilligans and everybody else didn't?
No, you're wrong
about
about that. We didn't get any rights. The Schwartz family has it all. We didn't get any residuals, and they're in control of everything. They've been very gracious about allowing me to do Surviving Gilligan's Island. Sherwood had allowed me to produce that. But no, it's a tight-knit family, and it was that generation, where we didn't know what residuals were all about. So I am blessed that the show has lasted 50 years, if you can believe, this year, and it's made a difference in my life.
Back in the day, you got paid one episode and then maybe a repeat and maybe a third. Was that it? Or did you only get one episode?
I think we had a little bit of reruns for like Viacom or something for about a year or something, but no. I mean,
it wasn't
when
like
you think
it is
about
now.
My goodness. We're the longest running show, one or two in the whole history of television, and we haven't made any money on it.
Dave, thanks so much for the phone call.
Thanks for calling.
All right, going to take a little break. We got some more calls coming up. Plus, we'll find out about this weatherman in Los Angeles, Fritz Coleman.
Yes,
Fritz. You have Fritz is my new favorite weather person, and we'll tell you why.
And he doesn't know what I'm going to tell you. I don't think he even was aware of it.
You don't think he was aware of it?
No, I don't think so. He was just being nice,
Plus, we'll talk about Paul Stern's dog. You have some advice for pet owners. And
I think it's wandering up and down my neighborhood. I'm going to call its name, see if he comes home.
Don Wells is with us. It's the PM Show Monday edition. I'm Michael Horn with Paul Stern. Thanks for joining us on CRN. You can give us a call, 818-353-1276.
For the highest quality flooring at the best possible prices, get to Lumber Liquidators' end of quarter clearance sale. 10 million square feet of first quality flooring must be reduced. Get 80 styles of laminate, including looks for under $1. 70 styles of bamboo, like Click Strand Bamboo for $2.19. 300 styles of pre-finished hardwood, including 3/4-inch solid maple for $2.99. Plus deals from 49 cents and no interest until 2017. For low end of quarter prices and the highest quality floors, visit LumberLiquidators.com to find a store near you.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers.
For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to Kubota.com.
Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost you thousands. But with the PMI Advantage from Quicken Loans, you may never have to pay those expensive monthly mortgage insurance premiums again. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I'm excited to tell you that the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage is our lender-paid mortgage insurance program. You see, we pay the PMI so you don't have to. Make the smart call and talk to one of our home loan experts today at 800-QUICKEN. You'll learn how the Quicken Loans PMI Advantage can give you more options, more flexibility, and may save you thousands when you refinance. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. To learn more, call us at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or visit us at QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed law 50 states. And MLS number 3030.
PM Show nationwide, coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Michael Horn and Paul Stern, our guest, the lovely, the talented Dawn Wells. The book is out. It's called A Guide to Life, What Would Mary Ann Do? It's available at all great bookstores, Amazon.com. And Dawn Wells, you can tell us this. If you go to DawnWells.com, you can ask it and it can be personalized.
Yes, I can say, hi, George, it's me.
That's great. I love it. All right, 818-353-1276. There's a couple of lines open if you're calling before and got shut out there with busy signals. 818-353-1276. Okay, Fritz Coleman is a weatherman in Southern California. I think he's been on the air 20 years or 25 years or something. He's probably the longest running weather guy, at least in Southern California. And you have a story about Fritz Coleman. He's also a stand-up comic, but what happened?
And he's wonderful, too. I watch him all the time. Well, I was out to dinner with a friend of mine named Christopher Sider, who was producing today's FBI, and we were at La Scala in Toluca Lake, and I took a little piece of crust of bread and a glass of wine, and I took a little nibble of the bread, and I inhaled, and a piece of the bread went down my throat, and I could not breathe. I stood up, and I could not breathe, and Chris was sitting back to me in a booth and got up and did the Heimlich and saved my life.
Fritz was doing that?
Yes, and I don't know if he even remembers. I mean, I really thought this was it. I couldn't catch my breath at all, and he saved my life.
What did you say afterwards?
Thank you.
Yeah, like that.
And I crawled to the car. No, I mean, we didn't have a real exchange of words. I was so frightened, you kind of don't remember that. I don't know if he even knows
So
it.
every red-blooded American male now is going to thank Fritz Coleman
for keeping me
for
here.
saving Donwell's life.
Yes, we need to give him a medal.
We need to have him on as a guest when you
I would
start
love
doing a
that.
show.
Yeah, we
because
should.
he may not know that story. That'll be one of our first guests to line up. That's good. Now, you have pet advice also because, Paul, you have the dog. It's a brand new dog. It's a puppy. What is the mix on this?
I picked up a Chihuahua Greyhound mix.
What?
A Chihuahua Greyhound mix from the local shelter.
It's a little dog, but long. Long. It's a long dog, but little.
Well, I believe it is possible.
Wow.
I guess it is. At least that's what they told me it was possible.
Said it has greyhound legs?
It has legs of a greyhound and a face of a Chihuahua.
Oh, how old is the puppy?
Less than a year old, so it's almost a brand new puppy.
Dog's got an identity crisis already. So what happened?
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of problems because I got a text today. Talk about texting. I got the text that came to me that said, I don't know where the dog is, but I can't find him. But he somehow got in the house, and that was kind of strange to me because I had, before I came here to the station, I had put the dog outside.
In the yard?
In the yard.
Okay.
And the dog was somehow made its way into the house and now couldn't be found. And so that, again, turned my life topsy-turvy in a matter of a moment.
Okay, so what happened?
Home? Would it be chasing the cat?
I have a cat, too, and the cat was a little bit perturbed and a little bit disturbed over the situation because the dog did get inside and managed to chase the cat around the house. And now, like I said, not only was the dog not able to be found, but the cat wasn't anywhere either.
Have you seen any patches of fur anywhere?
No, but I found puddles of pee.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
He
my
couldn't have gotten out of the yard and jumped over. He wasn't big enough.
Yeah. What happened? How'd the dog get in?
Well, I don't know. Nobody wants to fess
And
up.
was the dog out when you got home?
No, the dog. I rushed home and I found the dog inside the house, and everything seemed to be okay.
Right.
But nobody's fessing up on how the dog got into the house.
And the cat is okay.
Where's the cat?
The cat was found underneath a bed.
Of course.
Hiding underneath
But they're
the
both
bed.
alive.
They're both alive. They're both in good shape. I put the dog back outside, and I think everything is back to the way it was, I believe, when I first left.
Could I have the names of the dog and the cat, please?
The dog is Franco, and the
cat is American?
And the cat is Sophia.
Okay, good.
So
I want to report
what's the
tomorrow.
advice? What do you want to give Paul as advice?
Get them to know each other. I've got another cat at my house, and my 15-year-old cat's just hissing her heart out, and the other little cat wants to be friends, and you just let it happen. I mean, he's probably terrified, and the cat's they'll get along. Lock them in a closet. They won't last long. Put them in a small area and see what happens.
Thank you. All right, let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Las Vegas, Nevada, and Devin is there. Is it Devin or Devon?
Devin.
Devin, welcome.
Quick question. Don, you mentioned high school in Reno. I was wondering if you could enlighten the entire audience on the craziest story you have with one, I believe her name was Olivia Forsythe.
No, I've known Olivia for 103 years. Oh, I don't think I should reveal all the things I know about Olivia. I've known Olivia since the first grade. Were you in her class? Were you one of her students?
No.
Don't know what that means exactly. Oh, I don't know. I do remember one thing. I don't think I even should confront it because there was no drinking in high school. There was none of that. But I had this 49 Chevrolet that was periwinkle blue with a plaid top. And about 5 or 6 of my friends went up to Galena Creek with this car like we thought it was a Jeep. And I don't know what we were thinking. And I wasn't allowed to drink, of course, so I was terrified. I was driving. But I think Olivia had a couple of little too much. And we got back to my house, and she was throwing up. And I said to my mother, well, it was just a tuna fish sandwich. She had this spoiled tuna fish sandwich. That's the only thing I remember.
So you covered for her.
So
You're
I covered
a good
for
friend.
her. Yes, nobody got in
What
trouble.
happened to the car?
Oh, it's long gone, but I want to tell you, Olivia and I are still friends.
That's
still.
great.
Yeah.
Very good.
I got a question for
Thank
Don.
you, by the way, Devin, for the
Yes,
call.
thanks,
Don,
Devin.
didn't you do a show in Las Vegas?
No.
You did not?
No. What could I do? I don't dance
You've
and
never
sing.
performed? Done anything?
No, my father lived in Las Vegas.
Well, I'm gonna
I
have to
was between two.
I think I looked at a Wikipedia, and we're going to have to check it out because I think Wikipedia said you did a show in Las Vegas, a one-woman show.
No. I also heard from, Huffington Post that I'm the only one that made $1 million on Gilligan's Island. So where'd you read that?
I'd like to see the cash, right?
Yes, gosh.
Show me the cash.
Where is it?
Can't find it.
No, I never performed in Las Vegas, but I was there a lot. My father was one of the originators of the Thunderbird Hotel, etc.
The Thunderbird, that's where Sonny Liston trained.
Was he the tiny one, the tiny fighter?
Oh, he was
Emil Griffith. Emil Griffith?
Emil Griffith?
Yeah.
So the Thunderbird was the big T, right? That was the big Thunderbird.
He named the hotel, but Emil Griffith, I think, was training in the lobby as I was growing up. But he was a lightweight, or I don't know what you talk about.
That was like the beginnings of great hotels in Vegas, wasn't it?
Well, it was at the height of the great hotels.
Yeah.
Now I don't even recognize it at all. It's so different.
That was a real name.
It might have disappeared.
Yeah.
We'll be back with Dawn Wells, the PM show on ZRN.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720. It's the PM show, nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn with Paul Stern, the star of our show today, the legendary Dawn Wells. The book that we were talking about earlier and you want to get is called A Guide to Life, What Would Mary Ann Do? And it is available at bookstores everywhere. You can go to dawnwells.com. She'll autograph it for you. You can order your book there online as well. And you also have another book, cookbook or something, don't you?
I have a question. What does legendary mean?
Means you're one
She's
of the outstanding legends of show business.
What age do you have to be a legend?
You are, seriously, you are an icon. I say that, Robert Conrad's icon. You're an icon because that TV, even a lot of TV series, but the Gilligan's Island show has lasted the test of time. And, I could talk to someone who's 4 years old or who's 80 years old and they'd all know you because they've watched that show.
I always think an icon is a religious thing you hang on the wall.
Let's take another phone call. All right, here we go to Steve in Santa Monica, California. Steve, you're on CRN with Don Wells.
Hi, good afternoon, Don. How are you?
I'm fine, Steve. How are you today?
Pretty good, thank you.
Good.
What's your question?
Well, you live in the Los Angeles area, right?
Correct, yes.
Are you going to be doing any more book signings anytime soon in the LA area?
Good question.
I don't know in the LA area. I hope so. I mean, I've done quite a bit of it, and I'm kind of going on the road with some, but we ought to request that.
Yes, that would be great, because I missed you last September at, was it Barnes & Noble at the Farmers Market, 3rd and Fairfax?
Yes, that was fun. I had a good time there. I've done quite a few here in town, but I'm open to more.
You should do more. You really should. Come to Santa Monica.
I'd like to.
What's the big bookstore in Santa Monica, California?
Well, the only one I really know of is Barnes & Noble on 3rd and Wilshire.
Why don't you call them up and tell them that you'd like to see me?
Tell them to order up some books and
I'll be there.
I'll do that.
Okay.
All right, thanks for the
I'll
call.
definitely do that. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, there goes
Bye.
Steve. We should mention the caller earlier. You were right. Was
Fred Westbrook?
Yeah.
He pretends to be my agent, but he's really on the road as a comic.
He's pretty talented. He's got a lot of voices there.
He is.
He really is. Very talented. He gets those voices out. Now, what do you do? What are you doing besides writing books these days? Are you still doing acting and things?
Oh yeah, I'm really busy. I'm always looking at something to do, a play that I'm interested in doing, and a reality show that I hate that word that I'm kind of developing. And I don't know. I'm always looking for something new and something different, and I'm not ready to quit at all.
So you would do a reality show. You're looking to maybe create one of your own.
Well, there's things about shipwrecks. That are out there. Not this Beverly Hills Housewives or that kind of stuff, but
you wouldn't be open to that show. So you won't do Dancing with the Stars.
I'd love to, but I can't.
You won't be a Beverly Hills housewife,
and I can't sing, so I can't
sing,
do.
So
so I guess my career's over, Mike. I don't know what to say.
It's not. I'm telling you, Tom Bergeron is going to be after you now. After hearing this, he's going to want you on the show. And I say, if you were on that show. They always get top ratings. The ratings would go through the roof, and people would go nuts over watching you dance.
And it breaks my heart really to not be able to, because I wanted to be a ballerina.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I wanted.
How
to be
old were you when you started dancing?
About, I don't know, 1st or 2nd grade, and I was dancing in toe shoes and everything, and I did a rangete and landed flat on my face.
What did you do?
Well, you would know. It's a little thing where you jump and you twirl around, and when I came down, my knee dislocated, and I fell flat on my face, almost broke my cheekbone.
Whoa.
And from that point on, I couldn't do it anymore, and it really broke my heart.
What'd you call that maneuver?
Rangete.
Thank you.
I'll show you how to do it when the lights go out.
Thank you very much, Don. All right, what's your website? Because we want people
DonWells.com. It's very easy. DAWNWELLS. DonWells.com.
And will you come back and be on some more shows with us here?
Would you ask me to? I'd love to.
We want you to do a regular weekly show if you could.
I'd love that.
That'd be very good. What do you think, Paul?
I think that's a good idea.
Call in and we can talk about the dog that's lost. And
I'm sure there'll be more antics and hijinks to come.
Yep, I'd like that very much.
Paul has a big pet problem, but you say just let them get comfortable with each other, right?
I have 2 cats. I've introduced a new cat to my house, and there's a little hostility from the 14-year-old, but they'll get on. They will.
Don, thanks for being with us. Thank you all for joining us.
Mike.
If you missed anything, go to our website, crntalk.com, crntalk.com/the PM show. We'll put all the links up to Don Wells so you can get the book. Thanks to Tomas for pressing the buttons. Courtney Cadera producing the show. Thank you, Paul Stern. Thank you, Don Wells.
Thank you.
I'm Michael Horn. Have a great night.